What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer, only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, the possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely incredible as a collector's rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And with the fallout from what happened last night on NXT Battleground, I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: which TNA star would you guys like to see make an appearance on NXT? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today, is who exactly should make their way to NXT with the after the fallout of NXT Battleground. Now obviously we know that TNA currently is having their next pay-per-view coming up, I believe this week, actually. This week, known as TNA Against All Odds, which will take place in Chicago, which is going to be a bit of an interesting card, to say the very least. In fact, the card will be as follows. Big shoutouts to TNA, by the way, but from what I'm seeing here on their website, because I'm being real, I have not watched TNA in over a decade. Like the moment AJ Styles and Bully Ray and and Devon, once a lot of the OGs left TNA, that was when I stopped watching, mainly because of that. But we have Matt Hardy versus Moose for the TNA World Title. Jordan Grace will have her TNA Knockouts World Title, her TNA Knockouts Championship Open Challenge. Then of course we have the System, who I believe is Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards against get this, ready? Ryan and Nick Nemeth. And if you guys do not know who they are, they're basically twin brothers, and it's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's twin brother, funny enough, for the TNA World Tag Titles. Then of course we have Trent Seven and Mustafa Ali for the TNA X Division title. And then we have as well the Rascals against Mike Santana and Steve McCall. Steve Macklin, I believe is his name. So, quite the solid card, but the question is, who else from TNA could we see? Well, I'm actually on TNA's official website right now on the iPhone, and it shows all the champions that are there. So obviously there's Moose, the TNA champion, Jordan Grace, the Knockouts champion, Ali, the X Division champion, Top Dollar, or AJ Francis as his name, the TNA Digital Media Champion. We got the men's tag team champions and the Knockouts tag team champions, and then just a slew. There we go. Just a slew of TNA talent from all over the world, just dominating. And honestly, there's a lot of talent that I could see make their way to WWE in terms of potential returns. AJ Francis is definitely one of them. I know that we saw Ash by Elegance last night at Battleground, or I guess Dana Brooke, which was her name in WWE. Brian Myers, we saw him in WWE at one point. We saw Subculture, Danny Luna, Flash Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews. Dirty Dango is the guy's name in TNA. Fandango. We had seen Rich Swann, Eric Young, Gail Kim as well. Who else is here? Going down the line here, Josh Matthews was a part of WWE at one point. Killer Kelly, Connor. If you guys do not know who Connor was, this is him. Yeah, that's Connor. Once a member of the tag team known as the Ascension. Kushida, Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder, Matt Hardy, Matthew Raywalt or Aiden English. Let's see here, Ali, Nick Nemeth or Dolph Ziggler, Rhino, Rich Swann I mentioned. Get that, Santino Marella is in TNA. Trent Seven I mentioned. Steph DeLander, or I guess Persia Parada, I think was her name. Steve Macklin, or I guess Steve Cutler, I think was his name. Who else? Tommy Dreamer. There were a lot of guys, even also Xia Brookside as well. So there's a lot of talent that's in TNA right now that actually made their way to WWE, but it's a matter of which 5 I can see making their way into TNA. And looking at this roster, first one up that comes into mind is this guy Joe Hendry. I think is his name. This guy. I've heard a lot of weird things about this dude. And not gonna lie, Joe Hendry seems like a weird dude. In fact, I think he has his own like theme song or something like that. I don't even know. Again, I don't watch TNA. I haven't seen it in years, but with all the buzz on social media with his with his theme song, a lot of people are expecting Joe Hendry to make his way into NXT, potentially going after the NXT North American title, which is currently held by Obafemi. But he could also, if he found himself a tag team partner, he could go after the NXT tag team titles, which is currently held by Nathan Fraser and Axiom after their victory over the Good Brothers last night. So Joe Hendry is definitely one that comes into mind. We've seen Jordan Grace before, but obviously it won't be the last time we'll see her in NXT. So I can definitely see her making her way back to WWE. Another person that I feel like should make their way into WWE, into NXT, is this girl, Tasha Steelz. I've heard a lot about this woman, and she is, as advertised, she is a badass. From what I've seen on social media, she is a badass in the ring, and I feel like her going up against women like Roxanne Perez, women like Kalani Jordan, or someone like Mi Chen. Think about that. I mean, again, it's their dream matches you never would have expected, and honestly, that's definitely one of them. That is definitely one of them. Xia Brookside, I know we've seen her in WWE. I know that there were some rumors that right after NXT UK completely went off the air, there have been rumors that she was gonna make her way to NXT, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. So another person, so that's 2 right there. Number 3, hands down, has to be Mustafa Ali, the TNA X Division champion. Think about this. If he were to come back to NXT and he were to go up against someone like Wesley or someone like Nathan Fraser or Axiom defending the X Division title, that would set a hell of an example as far as how much history the TNA X Division Championship has. I mean, think about this. Think about this. The X Division title has a lot of rich history. It dates all the way back. It dates all the way back to 2002 when it was first introduced, and AJ Styles held the title. And since then, more than 24 people have held this title. Guys like Low Key, guys like Jerry Lynn, guys like Sonny Siaki, Kid Cash, guys like Chris Sabin, Michael Shane, guys like Frankie Kazarian, Petey Williams, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, who else? Jay Lethal, Kurt Angle, Johnny Devine, Petey Williams I mentioned, Eric Young, Alex Shelley, Suicide was his name, Homicide, Amazing Red, Douglas Williams, Robbie E, Abyss, Brian Kendrick, Austin Aries, Zema Ion, Rob Van Dam, Kenny King, TJ Perkins, Sonata, Samoa Joe I mentioned, Rockstar Spud, Kenny King, Tigre Uno, Trevor Lee or Cameron Grimes, Eddie Edwards, Mike Bennett, Bobby Lashley, DJ Z or Zema Ion I think was his name, Sanjay Dutt, Matt Sydal, Brian Cage. There is a lot of rich history with the NXT X Division title, and looking on it now, there have been some incredible talent who have won the TNA X Division title, and honestly, it's insane. It's insane. In fact, the one person who has held that title more than anyone else is none other than Chris Sabin. 10 reigns, 635 days combined, which is incredible. Which is fucking incredible. I will say this though. I will say this. He is definitely one to look out for, because if we see him back in WWE, ooh, social media gonna be running wild with that one. Another person that comes into mind that I would like to see make their way into NXT is this guy, Jonathan Gresham. I heard a lot about this dude. This dude is actually is actually kind of a hard ass in the ring, but he also has the ego to back it up. So I could totally see him making his way into NXT, going up against guys like Josh Briggs and guys like Tony D'Angelo and guys like Luke Gallows, and I could see it. I could totally see it. But if you want to talk about big dudes, big names, Moose, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, I could totally see Moose making his way to NXT, representing TNA as the champion, going up against guys like Oba Femi, going up against guys like Joe Coffey, or pretty much any other member of Gallus for that matter. Excuse me. You know, Moose had always said, you know, from what I've seen on social media, that Moose has always said that he's wanted to face the best of the best. And right now, NXT has the best of the best, including guys like Oba Femi, who is the current North American champion. You have guys like Trick Williams, the current NXT champion, who completely dominated that his match against All Ego Ethan Page, which, to be fair, Ethan Page, he had his ups and downs, I will admit. But excuse me, but when you really look at it, I mean, to be fair, we could see Moose on Raw or SmackDown, and he could be facing off against guys like Braun Strowman, or against a guy like Solo Sikoa, or perhaps a guy like Damian Priest, or a guy like Drew McIntyre, or a guy like Roman Reigns. You know, if Roman does return, which there's been some rumors about that. There's been a lot of rumors that he will be returning very soon, but we don't know when. We don't know when. I thought he was gonna leave WWE entirely, but obviously it was all cap. But honestly, those are the superstars I would love to see make their way into NXT. But obviously, again, we've seen Jordan Grace make her way into WWE twice now this year. Obviously, the women's Royal Rumble match earlier this year, and then of course the last couple of weeks on NXT. This last night at Battleground. So it's possible that we could end up also seeing as well the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, I believe is her name. We could see them against the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. That would be a dream match. That would be one hell of a dream match right there. But I want to get your guys' opinion. Let me know down in the comments below who you guys believe from TNA should make their way to WWE. Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.